Hello guys, so this is my loft. It's fairly small sort of side bit of the roof. So I've got a larger roof down there, and this is sort of like a side leaning part of it for the extension, and wanted this to be my storage like bit, but obviously I'll need to put some sort of flooring down, but before I do that, I want to raise up the floor so I can put in insulation in between, because I've got three types of insulation here. I've got this old glass type of insulation, and I've got the even older type, which is probably like 30 years now old, and I've got the new rock wool type. So this is the one that's going to go in between the joists. These are just the standard joists. You can get them at any B&Q, about 3-4 quid each, so fairly inexpensive. So this should be around 2 meters wide here, and then about 3 meters long. I'm going to probably go down a bit more further there, but it's just got a lot of stuff there at the moment. So I'll first do this bit, move the stuff over, and then do that. So the first thing obviously is putting the legs in, but when you do that, you've got to be careful of what type of roof sort of joists you have. So you could have a newer property with much smaller joists. This is an older property, so you got like quite fairly chunky ones, so they should be fairly load bearing. But if you got an older property, you would need to be even more careful with what type of wood you use, so you don't add too much weight to your roof. Also how they're tied into your structure. So for example, with my one, they're actually in the brick, so you want to check if you got any sort of damp around your joists. If they're rotten, obviously that will be a very bad idea to put weight on that. But all my joists are extremely healthy from both sides. I've got a ventilation pipe going there, so I'm not going to go I'm not going to have the floor going all the way down, because what that will do is just cover that up, and then it'll be sort of hard to sort of work around the pipe. Also not much storage, because obviously it got slanted roof, so there's not much point building up the floor there if I can't really put much underneath it. But yeah, so I'll do that. And the way to tie in the legs, so the wood to the current one, I just put in a couple of these types of screws. These are the most cheap standard 50 millimeter screws. Yeah, so one per side, and then if you're obviously double stacking it like I am for the thicker insulation, I'm doing it for the top joist and bottom joist, just going. It's obviously hard to reach both sides on this one because it's against the wall, but on the next ones I'm going to be drilling from each side, sort of alternating, just so it's nice to spread out. But this is not going to move anywhere. This is going to be sturdy, so you can pretty much walk and crawl over it, and we should be fine. But so I've got the legs on, and you can see that the insulation sits nice and snug in there. You have to make sure that it's not like compacted, because that will reduce the insulation like effectiveness. The other thing you have to be careful of when you do put these legs on is that you shim up any gaps, because a lot of the time when you have older roofs and the ceilings, they'll sort of like settle down and they'll like bow, especially around the center. So you can see my very last joist, it's nice and plumb and straight, and then the more you step down, the thicker the gap gets. So over here it's probably around like a centimeter off the like straight. Then once it goes back to the support beam, this is more like a supporting wall underneath here. and you can see like I didn't need any, you know, so as long as you know that your joists are straight, you've like, you know, pressed them against the floor and stuff and they didn't have a bow in it, you can sort of trust that the ceiling beams are the ones that are sort of bowed out and out of shape, which is, you know, which is normal, because older houses, you know, if they're like 100 years old, you can sort of assume that they would have settled down and sort of found their comfortable thing. So without those shims, what would happen is if you tighten your beams, your new fresh wood to your old warped wood, that old warped wood would sort of like try and straighten out again. And your ceiling, so if you have like lath and plaster like I do, it will just crumble and you'll have massive cracks all over your ceiling. But so that's what you want to do, just to spare yourself the headache of replastering the ceilings. But yes, I'm going to put on the flooring and then we'll see how it goes. So the flooring is down now. As you can see, it's quite a nice sort of storage bit. I've already got a few bits laying there, got more to carry over from this side. And yeah, so this took about a couple of hours. I would say it's easy, fairly easy to do in a day. I've got more to do over here. I want to meet up with the loft hatch so I can also have this insulated, and also around the loft hatch I've got a bit of a cleanup job. But then I'll most likely continue down up to about where the main roof struts. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but the the main roof struts starting over there. And then there's obviously my main roof. This is like the smaller roof, leaning side, and then obviously at the front is the main house, not the extension. Yeah, so that's about it for today. If you're wondering why I'm doing insulation on the ceiling and also over here, this is going to most likely get removed because of noticing quite a few damp spots. And you know, I didn't get this stuff installed. It was the previous owner. So they sort of did a bit of a botch job. You can see like there's like removed bits and stuff not fixed properly when it was removed, and yeah, so that's gonna have to get removed. So obviously when that gets removed, it's going to be a cold loft, vented, so that insulation is going to be doing most of the work and not this sort of botch job. And I want my wood to sort of be nice and healthy again. You can see sort of the dark spots. It's not damp to the touch, but you could tell if it rains, if it gets really cold in the winter, it's not going to be healthy. Doing that over the many years that it's going to be around, so it's best to get rid of it whilst we're doing it. So yeah, so thank you for watching, guys. Hope your project goes well if you're doing the same thing. See you guys.